I was fortunate enough to be at Stamford Bridge for his final game in charge, a 2-1 win over Bournemouth. As a Chelsea fan, it was a bittersweet moment. On one hand, we secured 3 crucial points, but on the other hand, it marked the end of an era. Pochettino's tenure was marked by promise and potential, but ultimately, it didn't quite live up to expectations. In this video, I'll share my thoughts on his time at the Bridge, what went wrong, and what's next for the Blues. Let's dive in. The match against Bournemouth was a fitting finale to Pochettino's tenure. Chelsea secured a hard-fought 2-1 win, thanks to goals from Caicedo and Sterling. The Blues dominated possession and created chances, but Bournemouth's physicality and direct approach caused problems. The Cherries equalized through a stunning strike that deflected through Badiashile, but Chelsea's quality eventually told. Key performances came from Caicedo, who scored a beautiful long-range effort, and Thiago Silva, who marshaled the defense with his usual composure. Sorling's clever finish sealed the win, but it was a nervy affair. In the context of Pochettino's tenure, this match encapsulated the highs and lows of his time at Chelsea. The Blues showed flashes of brilliance, but struggled to maintain consistency and see out games comfortably. The win papered over cracks, but the performance highlighted the issues that ultimately led to Pochettino's departure. Despite the 3 points, the game felt like a microcosm of Pochettino's Chelsea career, promising moments, but ultimately, a sense of underachievement. The win was a fitting farewell, but also a reminder of what could have been. Mauricio Pochettino's tenure at Chelsea lasted from July 2023 to May 2024. During his time at the Bridge, he achieved some notable successes, including leading Chelsea to a top 6 finish in the Premier League, reaching the FA Cup semi-finals, developing young players like Cole Palmer, Moises Caicedo, and Conor Gallagher. However, his time at Chelsea was also marked by struggles, including inconsistent form and results, criticisms of his tactics and team selection, difficulty in integrating new signings into the team. When Pochettino was appointed, expectations were high. He was seen as a top-class manager with a track record of developing young players and achieving success on a limited budget. Many fans and pundits expected him to bring a more attractive, attacking style of football to Chelsea, develop the club's young players and integrate them into the first team, challenge for major honors, like FA Cup and Carabao Cup. However, the reality of Pochettino's tenure was different. While he did achieve some successes, his time at Chelsea was ultimately marked by disappointment and underachievement. The gap between expectations and reality can be attributed to various factors, including the intense competition in the Premier League, the high expectations and pressure at a big club like Chelsea, Pochettino struggles to adapt to the team's existing squad and playing style, the difficulty in replacing key players and integrating new signings. Overall, Pochettino's time at Chelsea was a mixed bag, with some notable successes but ultimately, a sense of disappointment and underachievement. In my opinion, Pochettino's departure was inevitable. While he had some successes, the overall trend of his tenure was one of underachievement and stagnation. The high expectations at Chelsea made it difficult for him to continue in the role. Pochettino's tactical limitations and inability to adapt to the team's strengths and weaknesses early ultimately cost him his job. Additionally, his player management issues and failure to develop a clear playing style and identity for the team made it hard for him to connect with the fans and the players. The writing was on the wall, and it was only a matter of time before the club's hierarchy decided to make a change. While Pochettino deserves credit for some of his achievements, his departure was ultimately necessary for the club to move forward and achieve its ambitions. Mauricio Pochettino's departure from Chelsea has elicited mixed reactions from fans, with some expressing gratitude for his contributions, such as securing European football and guiding the team to a 6th-place finish, while others have been critical of his tactics and mid-table performance. Some fans have praised his ability to unite the team and get the best out of certain players, while others have celebrated his departure, citing issues like playing for penalties in the League Cup final. Pochettino's legacy at Chelsea will likely be remembered as a mixed bag, with both accomplishments and disappointments, as the club continues its search for a new manager. Here's a recap of my thoughts on Pochettino's final game and his time at Chelsea, along with some final thoughts on what's next for the club. Pochettino's final game against Bournemouth was a fitting end to his tenure, with Chelsea securing a hard-fought win but struggling to impress. His time at Chelsea was marked by inconsistency, tactical limitations. Despite some notable achievements, such as developing young players and securing European football, Pochettino's tenure was ultimately deemed a disappointment. My final thoughts on this is that Chelsea must learn from Pochettino's mistakes and appoint a manager who can instill a clear playing style and identity. The club needs a manager who can get the best out of the squad and make smart tactical decisions. The new manager must also prioritize player development and build a cohesive team that can challenge for major honors. The club's hierarchy must also take responsibility for the failures of Pochettino's tenure and ensure that they provide the necessary support and resources for the new manager to succeed. Chelsea will begin a new chapter under a new manager, with a renewed focus on success and a desire to reclaim their status as a top Premier League team. The club will likely undergo a period of transition, with new players and staff arriving, and a fresh approach to the game. Fans will be hoping for a swift return to form and a challenge for major honors in the coming seasons. The club's hierarchy must ensure that they learn from the mistakes of the past and provide the necessary support and resources for the new manager to achieve success.